Hey guys, so I'm going to go over the course material for week one for anybody who wants a refresher while they're working through the assignment. So the first thing I want to remind you guys is that here, this source box is the only box that you need to type in when you are working in our studio. This box down here, the console, is where things will appear once we start working through each section. The environment is where objects will appear, and the plot box down here, output box, is where your plots will appear. But in order to get this assignment submitted and graded, just do all of your typing in here, and at the end, copy and paste everything that's in this box into a Word document and submit that. So, for the assignment, the first thing you need to do is download this Welcome to R script file. And once you have that downloaded, I suggest just downloading it onto your desktop like I have here. You'll click it and it will open in RStudio if you were able to download RStudio. Please let me know if you're still having issues with that. So this first section is just showing you how R can be used as a calculator. So in order to run these lines, just put your cursor on the line and hit Command Return, or I believe it's Control Enter if you're using a Windows computer. And you'll see it come up down here, the answer to this line of code. Same with this next line, just hit Command Return. The answer will show up down here. And you're just running through these lines, seeing how it works as a calculator. They'll show up in the console. And this first practice section is just asking you to write a few of your own equations, like I did here, and run them and see what comes up. And when you go to submit this assignment, I will be grading it based on basically whether or not you have attempted each of these practice sections. One thing to note is that all of these lines that start with hashtags are considered comments, and they are not, nothing happens if you run them. Nothing is going to show up down here. They're really just for you. You can write your own notes if you want to do that. And this next section is talking about assigning values. So this arrow symbol that you're seeing here is how you go about assigning a value to an object. So go ahead and run these lines. And when you do that, you'll see that the object appears here. Now x is 10, like this line is showing. Y is 3. You'll see it appear here. And now you can do things like x plus y and x times y. You're just running all of these lines and seeing what shows up. So because you didn't assign either of these two things to anything, they're not going to show up here. they're only going to show up down here. This section is explaining that you cannot have more than one object with the same name. So if you assign something else to X, now it's taking what you previously assigned X as, which is 10, and adding 5 and creating a new object. And if you just run one line here, it'll show you that it's now 15. This is case sensitive, so if you do a capital X and assign it to something, that will be considered a different object. So be careful with that because it can get a little bit confusing. But we're seeing capital X is 100, lowercase x is 15. Second practice section is just having you practice writing out your own calculation and assigning it to the variable or the letter J. So go ahead and do that. Make sure you assign it with the little arrow and then hit the command return or control enter or whatever your keyboard has. And now we're getting into vectors. So here we're creating a numeric vector with a few different numbers, and we're assigning it to this object called numbers. So go ahead and run this line, and you'll see numbers appears. And this line right here is just explaining there are 5 numbers within this vector. It's a numeric vector, so that's what that is saying. And the colon is basically saying through. So 1 through 5, and it's these numbers. And if you just run this line numbers alone, it'll show up down here. These functions here are just showing you different ways to look at what is inside the object that you created. So run these lines and see what shows up. Again, it's just kind of calculating. You can do that with different kinds of vectors. This is a character vector, and vectors can only have one type of data in them. So this one up here is a numeric vector. This one down here is a character vector. Go ahead and run these lines. And now you see we have another object. This is the title of the object. It's what it's called. This CHR means character, and it's 1 through 3. So 1, 2, 3 different names inside of this vector. Logical vectors are also an option. Same thing. And here, this is just showing you a few different ways that you can sequence your vectors. So we're not assigning these to different objects, but this is going to make a vector of 1 through 10. It'll show up down here. This is a vector from 0 to 1, counting by 0.2. This seq function is just the sequence, and the by equals is how you're assigning it. So you could also change that to 0.1, and it'll just count up slightly different. And this line here is showing you that you can repeat any given number you want. You could change that. And it'll repeat 3 times. You can change it.